Mike McDermott, 840 Northeast 127th Street. As I was sharing with Mayor Kolodny, I've been involved and appreciative of MoCA for many, many years, and I'm a resident of North Miami. I remember when it was a little building behind the water plant, and I remember going in there, and I've been involved volunteering with MoCA on various committees as a volunteer, and everything that's been said here that the former mayors alliterated is true. And I know that all the attention that has been brought to the city of North Miami by MoCA and by the events at MoCA are wonderful. But on a more practical note, because I've volunteered and been involved with MoCA for so many years, I come to appreciate what MoCA has done for the children of North Miami. If you look at what the children of this city have benefited from this museum, and how the museum itself and the programs within the museum have inspired children of this community to go on to great careers in not only art, but in a lot of associated other fields. So indeed, if this council can do anything to preserve MoCA, whether it's enhancing its current position or enlarging its physical plant, or whatever it takes to try and make sure that what MoCA not only represents internationally and nationally and in the art world, but what it also does for the children of this community, I applaud your efforts and am behind you 100%. Thank you very much.
William Previtel, 11950 North Bayshore Drive. I can't possibly match the eloquence of the prior speakers, or esteemed speakers, and I'd like to start, if I may, by bringing attention to something that maybe our organization, MoCA, and the people that have worked there, people that have raised it, made it possible, maybe they've not been given enough attention over the years. And I'd like to, at least at this time, to thank Bonnie Clearwater for the number of years that she put in for the institution, what she made it. I'd like to thank all the mayors. I'd like to thank everybody from MoCA, the board members, and particularly board members now that are considering this move. I'd like to thank all of them publicly. Thank you. I'd like to make an appeal to the board members. A little bit of a possible vision for the future that I would hope that our city council would embrace. I'd like to say that things are changing, that the city's been distracted over the last few years, but maybe with the economy in better condition, the city in better condition, we can start to focus on MoCA's needs. I think that with the redevelopment plan for downtown, I think the MoCA Museum should be a vital part of it, that every block you walk will see and feel that MoCA has a presence, that art will be incorporated to every aspect of the redevelopment plan. It'll be a win-win for the museum, for the presence of the museum, and for the people using downtown. I think also that it would not be hard to imagine that Biscayne Landing could be in some form some sort of satellite representation of MoCA. I think it's a win-win for both the developers and for the city, and it's a way of MoCA having additional outreach. So I think that is very feasible. And additionally, I know that the bond issue was turned down for the expansion of MoCA, given a certain geometry, a certain way, certain time. I think that there is ample land adjacent to the museum without compromising the plaza so that MoCA can do at least a 100% increase in size sometime in the near future. That is very feasible, very likely. And it'll be part of a campus plan that'll include this greater block where possibly even this building, rather than removing it, becomes part of the educational center for MoCA. So I appreciate all your consideration, and I hope we can do everything possible to bring, including if we have to sort of do additional evening events or day events amongst the city to bring more attention to MoCA. We need more foot traffic, and I know we can do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to speak? Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Cynthia.
Lower the mic, please. Yes.
Okay. Cynthia Cluse, and I live in North Miami 30 years. And when I moved here, there was a lot of flea markets, and I was always a vendor. But lately, I have made art, considering that I want to sell it on Miami Beach. I called them up. And I said, do you allow vendors? And they said, only art vendors. And you have to go to City Hall, show your whatever you make. You have to have 12 finished, 6 halfway. So I called North Miami and I said, where can I sell my art here? Nowhere. They didn't know anywhere. Finally, they said, go to the farmer's market, and maybe if you know food, any type of food you could do, I'll let you put your hats. I make hats, and I decorated one of a kind. And so it didn't work out because they ended it. Nobody came much, and I think 6 people stayed, and then when I got to, my oven broke, and I couldn't bake the bread. I baked bread. So what happened, I said, well, where can I sell the art? Because Miami Beach City Hall said it's your right as an American, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, includes freedom of expression, which is art, because I don't want to get in trouble going around selling. You cannot sell things you buy. It has to be something you make. So I make hats. Anything you make is considered art. If you know how to sew, there's a lot of art people do. So I say that I went down the street walking home late one night, and I noticed all the antique shops came to North Miami. And so one of them, I said, why is all these came here, like 20, 30 stores? And they said because the rent was so cheap, we all got together, but now because there's no traffic, they're moving out. Because they said they raised the rent now because they filled them all up, but there's no traffic, so they're not making any money. So that's when I decided to make a proposal to the city manager. Why don't we have the art vendors like they do on the beach? Why do I live in North Miami and I have to travel clear there when we could do it right a few blocks from where I live? Because I sell it in my yard, and I get in trouble because they say, you can't have a garage sale.
You're right.
But there's not a garage sale. I was working on my hats when the code man came. I'm going to call the cops if you don't pack it up. But it wasn't a flea, it was just my hats that I had on a table.
Thank you.
And I'm sitting under the tree in the cool weather. So right along here, the square where they have music and all, if you did like Miami Beach did, then all local artists, they come from all over Dade County to Miami Beach. And they have something called the Tourist Board at City Hall. It's a woman and a man, and you got to go there the second, in fact, this coming Thursday of every month. You
We got the idea. We have the idea. Thank you.
Right, so
Part
I would
of the
like to know if we
downtown-
could do that.
Yes, part of the project for downtown is exactly some of the corridors. When we talk about the north-south development with Mr. Schneidman, is pretty much what you're talking about, giving opportunities to artists to showcase and sell what they have, whether it's beads, it's hat, and things like that. It is part of the plan as well, so it's coming.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. We I don't know if any council member would like to speak before we come for a resolution, but I would suggest that we take a 5 minutes break if it's okay, so we can revamp, go to the restroom, drink water, and hug one another, and come right back here in 5 minutes if it's okay.
We're coming back to the item at
Yes.
hand. We're just taking a
5 minute break.
5-minute break in the midst.
Thank you. Going to continue where we left off, and thanks for your patience. Thank you for being here and staying here. I believe that Mr. Prudent has a piece of information regarding the last resident who spoke earlier, the one who makes the hat. Mr. Prudent, you want to give her the details of what's going to happen next month? In 2 months, sorry.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. As the young lady was presenting, I was thinking that something should be done about it. So with the permission of the Executive Director, also the City Manager, and the Mayor, we spoke a little bit about that. This is a proposal. We are proposing a Bring Your Art Day to North Miami twice a year. The first one to be held at the plaza in May, and the second one in December. So people like the young lady will be able to sell their wares, and we're going to make sure that it's their own creations, not reselling other people's art.
Thank you. Good. And we're starting with twice a year, and then if it works, we're going to make it more often so that many participants and the city can live out of its own art. I had met a gentleman, he's an artist. He's here, where is he? He just introduced himself to me. Thank you so much for being here. He's right here in the city of North Miami. He decided to bring his arts here in the city. Thank you. I'm not sure whether council wants to comment on the different statements that we've heard from the former mayors and residents of the city regarding that item before we bring the resolution. Madam Keys, we're starting with you.
I like what
Mike.
what Mayor Wallen and Mayor Burns said, and I think that we should pursue whatever legal remedies we have very forcefully. I did not receive a copy of the contract. I requested a copy to see personally what our legal rights are. It's online?
Yes.
Okay, great. It is online for anybody who wants to look at it, but I do want to pursue our legal rights. I wanted to thank Luann Kolodny for being here this evening, because I volunteered with Luann back in the late 70s, along with my mother and my sister. So I go back. She was on the board. My mom was
She's
a volunteer.
still on the board of Parks and Recreation.
No, Nancy was on my sister was on the board of the COCA. We were very involved. We're still involved. We love COCA, MOCA, and we expect to keep it in the city, and we'll do everything we can to make it happen.
Any suggestion?
Fight. Use our legal remedies. Maybe if we have to create a march, but I think we should make it known to the county, to the city of Miami Beach, that we do intend to keep our museum and to leave us alone.
Thank you. Mr. Galvin.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I was just struck by watching all of those mayors all be in the same room at the same time, because that one ran against that one, who ran against that one like twice, and to see them all standing up here at the front of the room, united for one of the first times in recent history on one item, was just absolutely historically stunning to me. So thank you to the mayors who took the time to do what they did. I do have some bullet points for a resolution if and when we get to that point, but I thank all of those of you who have stood behind MOCA, because we're going to join you.
Thank you. Madam Steril.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think I will echo everybody else that I personally strongly a great support of MOCA. I remember a couple of months ago, or last year, that I did address MOCA with the city manager and the city attorney, with the reason that I felt that we were not so involved in the administration of MOCA. MOCA was like a unknown to us, except the only thing that we do is just give them money. We didn't know what they were doing. We were not part of their different activities. The only time that we involve, the other time we involve in MOCA is when they send us an invitation, and you just go and eat their appetizers and then leave and laugh and hug. So my question to the city attorney, or to, since I think, I don't know in what level of conversation that either you were in the meeting, in the city attorney,
No, ma'am.
the city manager was in the meeting, and the mayor was in the meeting as well. Did you guys meet with the entire board, or is it like one person actually says that they want to leave? What is it?
When we had the meeting, this was a small group. It did not reflect the entire board, and they had basically indicated that they were 90 days away from entering into a contract with Bass. And again, we asked them to provide something official in writing. I did speak with Alan Kluger, who was the attorney there present as a board member, but also appeared to be the spokesperson for the group. He and I will have a meeting this week. I did speak to him today, and I informed him once I got direction from the council, we will be meeting with him as their representative.
Okay. My next question has nothing to do with passing the resolution, or can camp in front of City Hall, Miami Beach, or anything else that we want to do. But I just want to be clear exactly what is it that I'm fighting for and who am I fighting with. Are we, if by any chance that, okay, they really say that we're leaving, who are the we who's leaving? Is it the foundation, the non-for-profit, the artists? What is it? What is it that we're dealing with right now?
They have a contractual obligation to be here until 2018. Clearly, that's 4 years away.
We're talking about is it the non-for-profit is the same as the foundation?
Yes, the nonprofit organization, the board members are the managing group as well, as the city attorney indicated. They had informed us that they had a board meeting, and the majority of those board members had agreed to negotiate and enter into a contract with Bass. I asked him today to let us know who those board members were and to give us the minutes of that board meeting, and at which time he said he would do so this week. So basically, once we get something formally in writing, we will let them know that you are breaching your contract. You're supposed to be here until 2018, and how the city plans to move forward in their attempt to breach that contract.
Okay. And I feel that we do have a relationship with them. I'm assuming we still have a relationship with them, and we still have a contract with them. And they have not sent to us the formal. We're still going to pass the resolution. I'm just talking for the next step. Can we have an executive meeting to actually meet with the board members in the city council? Is that legal? Because what I'm feeling is that I heard one of the mayors, I don't remember which one, that actually mentioned that, no, not the mayor, somebody mentioned that there was a rumor before that they wanted to leave, that they thought that we did not want them. We want them to leave because we have other, and I heard that before though, I heard that, that we had other plans for Mocha. So probably, is it, well, I can't ask you probably won't be able to answer that. So even that we want to talk to them about it. Okay, why do you guys leave? My concern is that passing a resolution, don't want them to leave. If the board is no longer here, we're still going to have the building. So what we're fighting for, are we fighting for the money that they're bringing to Mocha, the arts that they're bringing to Mocha? So to me, fighting with them and they still leave, we still don't have a Mocha. We're still going to have the building.
Sure. So through the mayor, councilwoman, there's a lot of rights that we have. There's a question as to the arts. As you heard one say that there are certain donors who gave with the intent for that to be in the city of North Miami, although given to a nonprofit board. And there's also funding that we are entitled to. I believe that we're entitled to. For instance, if someone gave a 5-year grant and that grant started in 2013 and they intended for it to last through 2018, we're entitled to that because that was the spirit in which that grant was given. So legally, when you give a donation and has for a certain intent.
To a non-for-profit for a specific.
Absolutely. You cannot divert those funds in a different capacity. That's illegal. So we need to dive into the paperwork. We need to get, I've already put in a request to them of all the funding. And so once we get that, we will be able to better inform this board, this council, what rights we do have. They do and have acknowledged that there are certain endowments that was given, for example, the education for the youth. They realize that it was given specifically for that, and they're willing to continue that. But again, I think that from what we're understanding, that the spirit of the direction that the council wants to go, we want to look at the fact that maybe we want to remove board members. So I think that we will look at all possible aggressive action based upon what you direct us to do, including removing board members that want to go, and just say you're removed. We have that leeway. It's in the contract that we can remove board members. So maybe that's the route we want to go. Maybe we want to be passive with them. Maybe we want to just sit down and have a friendly conversation with them. But they're willing to do that. But I like to have something from them officially in writing. But I think that it's also preemptive on our part that we should have clear direction as to where this council wants to go, so that when we're sitting down at the table, we know how we should conduct ourselves.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Mr. Bien-Aimé?
I have a question, and you were talking about two entities, the foundation and the non-for-profit. Is that correct?
The nonprofit is MOCA.
Okay.
That is the nonprofit entity. They have board members, and they're also managed. So when art is given, it's given to the nonprofit MOCA.
Okay. And you sign a partnership with them. Is that correct?
Yes,
Or
in
the
our
non-profit
agreement.
is a part of North Miami?
It's a part of North Miami. MOCA belongs to North Miami. When you read the agreement, it says Cities MOCA. So it's clear that it's ours.
The non-profit organization is ours?
Yes.
Okay. What if-
However, it has a board.
Okay.
And we, somewhere during the course of history, as Ms. Kolotny stated, we had 5, they had 5, but along the history, they took control of the board. So we have to take control back of that the best legal way possible.
If I understand, if a board member want to leave, and it's okay for them to leave, but we're fighting for them not to leave with what belongs to the city. Is that correct?
That's correct. And I think that what we could do, they in my conversation with them, they realize that MOCA, the name MOCA, the entity MOCA belongs to North Miami.
North Miami.
I think the issue is going to come into play is the art.
Okay.
And the endowments that have been given over the years, and what was the intent of those endowments when those that contributed, the contributors, what was their intent? Was it to be here in North Miami, or was it to be in Miami Beach? Clearly, when they gave it, Miami Beach was not even on the table.
Okay. I understand. Thank you.
Once again, I would like to thank all of you that are here tonight, and the passion and the necessity for us to go beyond personal agenda to see the bigger picture. And tonight, your presence have shown really, have given a demonstration of strength. And when things matters, this city can come together. And I am so, so proud to be part of this body. Thank you so much. Thank you. The idea of keeping a building and the name, it's not it. And I remember when we were in the meeting, Mrs. Lehman, what's her name? Bremen made it very clear, this is our final stage. We have made the decision, and we're moving with the arts as well. Am I right, Mr. Primer? You were there. We're taking the collection with us.
The attorney mentioned that.
And so did she. And this is something I don't think we should deal with lightly. And I know that Deputy City Manager have been sitting in those meetings for on many occasions, because you were there as well the other day. My suggestion is that we can form a committee of also all of you that were there. We need to go to the BAS board meeting to find out when, and ask a meeting with the new elected mayor, Philippe Levine of Miami Beach, as part of the different steps that we are going to take in terms of knowing exactly how, and not to be afraid to say shame on Miami Beach. Shame on them. Because we're not going to go there. And of course, some of the board members of MOCA, as they said, the grass always looks greener on the other side. And I believe if the board members decide they want to go and serve another board, it's okay. But what's belong to us stays right here. This is our heritage. It belongs to the city of North Miami. And I'm not interested in rumors of what people have said or why or not why. The thing is, they have made it clear to us that they want to move, and they are willing to do so within the next 90 days. And they were in the final stage. So I think tonight we should give you directions in terms of the different steps that we are going to take. One of them, with the approval of all the mayors, is to do a press conference for us to let the media know what's happening. Because this is not something we can go ahead and brush under the rug. We have to let the world know what's happening in the city of North Miami. And ASAP, we're going to do that press conference. And second, we go into the Bass Museum board meeting and listen to what they have to say and talk. And then we're going to meet the new mayor of the city of Miami Beach. Those are the 3 suggestions I have in terms of 1 step, 2 step, and 3 steps in order for us to go forward. Because the way that they spoke to us the other day, and it's not that it's something that they're thinking about, they may or they may not. They said they are leaving. And it was final. And right now, I don't see what we have to negotiate, if not having the city attorney make sure that in the contract we can go ahead and remove some board members, and having people in North Miami be part of that board. I'm sure if there were residents of this city who understand, who are arts lovers, they should be part of that board and ensure that what is the jewel of this city goes and stays in this city. And the board members may leave, but we, as I said earlier, if they want to go, it's okay. As I said, I'm not going to lose sleep out of a couple of board members who wants to go. Because I'm sure there are progressive members in the board who understands the importance of having a museum here, who understands the necessity for MOCA to stay right here in the city of North Miami. And we're not talking about the building. Because the thing is, if we start convincing them to stay, they may decide not to do one exposition. And on top of it, they have the nerve to tell us that they had something planned in September, although they're going to be moving, they want still to have it right here. And I think it's beyond arrogance. It's beyond arrogance. So, Madam Attorney, from our directions, and the suggestion of Councilman Galvin has also for this, I would like for you to go ahead and look at that contract and ensure what are our limitations and what are the things that we can do in order to prevent that catastrophe to happen in North Miami.
Absolutely.
And you're giving us also direction to protect the integrity of to protect the contract, all of its contents, our rights.
Definitely, and as Ms. Kalman said, some of the collections were given to the city of North Miami. It was not given to the board. If it belongs to the city of North Miami, how dare can they go and say that we are taking it with us? Mr. Galvin, yes.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In conjunction with this 100% backing to take any and all steps necessary to keep MOCA as it is in North Miami, perhaps the council would like to join me with the following suggestions being agreed on. That the city of North Miami backs MOCA 100%. We are fully committed to the preservation of and expansion of MOCA and our art community. That MOCA is an integral backbone of our downtown community and our planned redevelopment of the downtown. And that MOCA was established by and for the residents of the city of North Miami. And with a vote, we'd all stand united.
Okay. Is that
That should be the the resolution. And I think anyone who wish to add something from what Councilman Galvin have suggested are welcome to do so at this point. But I think it's very well said.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. So I can move for us to use the wordings of Mr. Galvin as a resolution.
I'll second the motion.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, you would like to put that into a
Resolution.
written document? Or
Yes.
are you talking?
I don't want to have it come back at the next meeting for a reading, et cetera. I'm just looking to state on the record so it's unequivocal to anybody who's listening and watching that
Okay.
this is where we stand. We are behind MOCA as
Okay, so then I would suggest that you can take a vote to support the statements of Councilman Galvin.
Good. So I move. I need a second.
second.
Very good. We can open citizen forum on this, can we? Yes, sir. Mr. Schneidman.
Frank, you got a good thing going here. Don't mess it up.
Oh, I'm not going to mess it up. Don't you worry. My name is Frank Schneidman. I'm a consultant to the CRA. I am the first vice president of the Board of Trustees of the Murakami Museum and Japanese Gardens in Delray Beach. I've been on the board since 2001. And I just want to suggest that at the end of Councilman Galvin's comments, that you add an additional clause, because a government or a private museum is not for the residents of any specific community. And so I would add at the end of Mr. Galvin's recommendation that it says it was established by the residents of North Miami, for the residents of North Miami, Florida, the nation, and the world. Because a museum's role, and we know that MOCA's role is recognized, so I would suggest that it was established by the residents of the city of North Miami, for the citizens of North Miami, Floridians, the nation, and the world.
I accept that friendly amendment, Councilman.
Yes, sir.
I'm concerned that the council give the manager the clear direction that he asked for. Because in my discussions, I've come to understand that sometimes you got to make it clear. And I think Mrs. Brayman made it clear.
Yes, she did.
I don't always take what people say at face value. I was in front of a judge the other day, and my client said, "But I'm telling the truth." And the judge said, "But everybody who comes here is trying to put one over on me, and I don't know who's telling the truth anymore." I don't know if Mrs. Brayman said 90 days and she meant 30 days. And I wouldn't like to spend the next 30 days wondering if you all are wondering what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. So I would feel more comfortable if you said to your city manager and to your staff, whatever it takes, you have the authority to do it, so that they don't feel, I don't know, and, get it out there. Tell your staff they have the authority to use good judgment, and I know they will, and to do what they feel necessary in order to take the steps that have to be taken to keep the museum here. Not to report back, not to figure it out, because I got news for you. Mrs. Brayman is not figuring it out. She's got it all figured out. And while y'all are figuring it out, they're going to be moving. So please give your city manager that authority. Thank you.
Well, we can do both. The resolution and the clear directions that I had just given you in order for us to move forward with this thing here. All right? Thank you.
That's what I was asking, Mayor, of the vote, so that the
Madam City Attorney, we do roll call on voting this?
You can, but you don't have to. You can vote by acclamation.
Mr. Clerk.
I mean, I want to just go ahead and reiterate the motion so we can make it clear on the record. The first motion was made, the motion was made, the first statement was made. The general concept of the motion was the motion to support the statements made by Mayor Thundro and Councilman Galvin on this matter. The statement made by Mayor Thundro earlier was that the city manager and city attorney ought to do everything necessary to ensure that MoCA stays here in the city. And Councilman Galvin followed up with 4 requests that the resolution indicates that the city backs MoCA 100%. Number 2, the city is fully committed to the preservation and expansion of MoCA, our art community, and our art community. 3rd,
Sorry, I was scribbling.
the integral backbone of
That MoCA is the integral backbone of our downtown community, and I think I said its future redevelopment.
That was number 3, as stated by Councilman Galvin. And number 4, that MoCA was established for and by the residents of North Miami. This particular motion was moved by Mayor Thundro.
There was an addition to that.
And the members of the greater Florida, American, and world communities as well.
As stated by Councilman Galvin. Any addition? Okay, with that, that motion was moved by Mayor Thundro and seconded by Councilman Galvin. Mayor, would you prefer a roll call? Or?
Yes, please.
Okay. Mayor Thundro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sterrell?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bieneme?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Can I make a further motion that we give the authority to our attorney and manager to do whatever is necessary to keep MoCA?
It's there. It's right there.
Where is it?
That's part of the
No, it's not.
directions.
At the very beginning.
Yes.
To take whatever direction?
Right.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't really get that okay.
Tab C, Mayor?
Mr. Manager, one moment, please. Mr. Clerk, you want to move the Oaks?
Yes, the Oaks item.
Biscayne 151,
Yeah.
no more A Oaks.
Quasi judicial 151 at Biscayne up.
151 at
It's
Biscayne.
dealing with the conditional.
Which one is that? That's tab.
What item are we on now?
We are in item
Tab F.
quasi judicial item C. Is that correct? F, as in Frank.
Tab F is about to be heard by the mayor and council. Tab F is in fact a quasi-judicial matter. If any person wishes to be heard on Tab F, you shall rise right now and be placed under oath. If you are not placed under oath, you will not be able to speak on this particular item.
No.
Mr. Manager, you have every former mayor's number? Sorry.
Staff,
Everyone that were here tonight, we have their contacts, right?
I will ask that Stephanie, if Mr. Prudent would help me get that while
Thank
they're here.
Thank you. All right.
Okay, Mayor, just for the record, no one but, I guess, an attorney for the oaths will be speaking on this matter. So Tab F, no one will be speaking on the matter with the exception of the attorney.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members, Mr. Manager, Madam City Attorney. I'm Andrew Hellinger, the receiver of the 151 at Biscayne Condominium Association. I am also an attorney.
Are you representing the oaths in your capacity as a receiver or in your capacity as the attorney?
Tonight, both.
Okay.
Just
Give
take
me
the oath.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth regarding Tab F? So help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, may I ask Mr. Hellinger whether he favors or does not favor the
Want me to read
item
it
as
first?
presented? Oh, sure, sorry.
Tab F, proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, amending the previously approved conditional use permit and precise plan for phase IA of the Biscayne Landing site formerly known as The Oaks in accordance with sections 3-405 and 3-410B of the City of North Miami Code of Ordinances, Land Development Regulations, in order to allow the construction of a new amenities building, and security guard gate for 151 at Biscayne Condominium Association, Inc., FKA The Oaks, I, at Biscayne Landing Condominium Association, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion?
I'll certainly make the motion. I'm assuming you're in favor of this as it is, Mr. Hellinger?
I'm in favor of it. The association's in favor of it as recommended by staff, with one exception. There was a request that we made to paragraph 19 of the conditions that the phrase "subject to paragraphs 20 and 21 below" be added, because 19 conflicted with 20 and 21. And Madam Attorney agreed that we were correct and it should be done. And with that small little correction, then we are in favor of it.
Madam Attorney, is that an accurate reflection?
Fairly accurate. I don't know that it conflicts, but it doesn't create any harm by having subject to.
All right.
I'll go with that.
I'll make approval as slightly amended.
I'll second this.
Call the question. There's nobody else that's been sworn in to speak, so.
No one else.
Yeah.
You want to? No. I was gonna ask you, since he's the only one who has the amendment. I'm sorry. I'm just going blank from time to time. I just want to make sure that you said the association is in agreement with it.
That's correct.
Because we don't want to go against what the majority wants.
The association a week or two ago has passed, had a meeting, and they have approved as an association the plans that are before the council attached to staff recommendations.
Okay, very good. Mr. Clerk.
Okay, motion was made by Councilman Galvin, seconded by Dundro, and that is to approve this item with the friendly amendment stated on the record. Roll call vote. Councilwoman Sterrill? Yes. Councilman Galvin?
Yes.
Mayor Dundro?
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bieneme?
Yes.
Item passes 5-0.
I want to thank the council, Madam Mayor, and your staff, as well as former Mayor Pierre, for the assistance in seeing this project through. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now where are we?
Tab C, Mayor.
All right.
Proposed resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of North Miami, Florida, approving the proposed schedule of fees pursuant to Chapter 5 of the Code of Ordinances entitled Building Standards and Regulations, specifically at Article Roman numeral 7, entitled Landlord Registration, providing for an effective date and for all other purposes.
Citizen forum is open on this. Public hearing is open. Public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion for tab C? He's walking through it?
No, you was
Are you coming up?
here and then
Everybody look live, look alive.
Good evening. My name is Dennis Samuels. I live at 13295 Biscayne Bay Terrace, North Miami. I've been a resident of North Miami for 15 years. I've owned property in North Miami for 15 years, commercial property in North Miami Beach, Aventura. First of all, this resolution, I only heard about it a couple of days ago. I've never received any notice about the fees, about anything regarding this, and I think as a property owner, I have the right to receive notice about it. I've briefly looked at what it involves, and as a property owner, I think it will have an adverse effect on properties, multifamily properties in North Miami. I've never seen anything like this. I don't quite understand it because I haven't been served notice of what it is. But at least I'm requesting that this be tabled. I know there are a lot of property owners that I know in the area who haven't been noticed about it. They're not here tonight. And when I told them about it, they said they have not received notice about it. So I'm just
Where are your properties, sir?
San Souci Boulevard. On San Souci Boulevard.
The Tropicanas?
No, San Souci Tennis Apartments. I understand that this is to, safeguard the tenants in the apartments, and I have no problems of the properties being inspected, but what I've briefly read about it, I think this is going to be very onerous, and eventually it's going to be passed on to the tenant, the cost.
Thank you. Next.
Hi.
Hi.
Madam Mayor, Council, my name is Ilana Baroni-Burdick. I live at 13502 Northeast 24th Place. And I, too, was at the last meeting, and I heard the mayor give direction to staff to notify the landlords. I did not get noticed. I'm here because of some investment brokers that told me about it, and I am here. I did get a chance to look at it, and I would ask that this be tabled. There are some things in here that are out of sync. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm just saying out of sync, my layman's terms. For example, under Section 5-39, the license, do you realize that landlords have a minimum of 6 licenses already, of which 4 I get inspected for? I have the elevator certificate of operation. I have the fire department life and safety. I have the county local business tax, the business tax and certificate of use from our city, Division of Hotel, Restaurants, a professional, business professional, and the Department of Health operating permit for our swimming pool. So we do get inspected. In the 18-plus years that I have been here, I think minimum housing came into our building once, and I would like to think that they didn't come back is because we've got a great building. They didn't find anything. Tenants are prided by living in our building and how we keep it. I believe you've been by the building a long time ago. It's only getting better. I only work to make it better. I pour everything I can back into the building. In Section 5-42, Item C, the percentage of units to be inspected under your proposal here is maxed out at 30%, and that applies from 31 to 50 units and up to 51-plus units. There's a hardship. I'm 36 units. So I have to do 30% of my units, but somebody who's 51 units or more, they should have a larger percentage. There should be another category if you're going to go with this.
Okay.
Now,
I got you. We got the idea. Question to city manager. Why weren't the owners of the properties notified about this meeting?
Staff has informed me that they sent out minimum housing as well as community police officers to go out, and they made those notifications.
if you'd like to swear me in, I'll swear in. Nobody approached me. And I'm known in the city. I sat on the code enforcement board. I'm around all the time. The code officers know me. Some of the police officers know me. It's not like I'm not noticeable here.
Madam Mayor, may I move that we continue this item for 2 weeks so that we can do a more
Proper
thorough notification.
notification.
And in the meantime, all of y'all who are property, and you guys are the good ones, that's the thing,
Right.
it's like preaching to the choir, but if you will get with the city attorney's office between now and the next 2 weeks to give the suggestions so we can iron.
Because some of the
Okay.
stuff is duplicated that we already have to do. For example, the post office requires that we have a directory of who's in each apartment. And I don't put first names because I need to protect the tenants, the single women, so that they're not targeted.
But
There are
all these
reasons why
things-
we do things, and we comply, but we need to protect the tenants also.
You guys are the good landlords.
Right.
We went into apartment buildings just a couple of weeks ago that were
3/4 of the
horrific.
apartments in the city of North Miami. I understand you're talking about the
Right, Madam Mayor,
the
I know
permits that you have.
Yeah, no.
Whatever permits you have, somebody somewhere is not doing what he's supposed to do. It is unbelievable.
I agree
that
with
people
you.
who are paying their rent every month, for them to live in the filth that we've been witnessing for the past weeks.
And Madam Mayor, when I sat up there on code enforcement, the pictures that you went on your sweep and saw, we saw repeatedly. And we were the first board to announce $250 fines on the landlord. Since I'm a landlord, I know what it needs to take care of something, and nobody should have to live that way.
Right.
Nobody. Everybody has a right to a clean, decent house to live
So
in.
we have to do preventive measure in order to ensure that the people that are renting those apartments are living in livable condition
But don't
and
throw
in dignity.
I
We're
agree.
not throwing you out.
We're not you.
Fran,
It's
with
not
them.
you. I mean, Mr.
but I
Ish,
feel like I'm being
Ish was
thrown
here
away.
when we had the town hall meeting. He's one of the great landlords. There are many good landlords in the city, but unfortunately, the big majority is messing it up for you folks.
And you
And
can't-
maybe you should have an association of landlords, so that way you can pull their ears, because it does not make sense. It's unbelievable. We saw what's happening in those apartments.
I agree.
Although you're talking about the elevator permit, one of the buildings, the elevator never work. So what happened to those
And that's an egregious
companies that
wrong.
are supposed
I
to
agree.
be fire extinguishers are not working, ceiling almost falling down, mold in these apartments? I mean, it's
There
a no-no.
has to be more teeth in the law in order to correct those bad landlords, instead of lumping us all together with the same rule where we are also in peril of being fined and charges. I mean, it's just me, myself, and I. I don't have a staff of people to do all the paperwork. I'm a little landlord. I'm not a big one. I need, this is added expense, plus it invades the privacy of the tenants, and I screen my tenants. And I understand where you're coming from. I'll do what I can to help, I really will.
We understand, but you know what? We need to do what we have to do to ensure that the citizens of this city that are renters are protected as well.
I agree.
Because one of the things in that chapter that the city attorney have put is, before we can rent an apartment, that to ensure that this apartment is in livable condition. Some of the people that needs to move in so fast, they get into the apartment, the landlord said they will come and fix it afterwards, oven is not working, air conditioning is not working. I mean, we've seen it all. I mean, from A to Z.
But
We've been to those apartments and we have seen it.
All right, there are laws that state that if my tenant comes to me and says the AC is broken, I have 5 to 7 business days to get it going. And if there's a health issue, I have to do it in 24.
We're either going to continue this for 2 weeks, or we're
ahead.
going to vote on it tonight. I think,
Right.
let's go with continuing it in 2 weeks, please.
Yeah,
so that we
fine.
It's already seconded.
What about with notice? Are we going to get notice
We
to these
didn't get
tenants?
notice.
They
I
noticed
just-
6th Avenue, they didn't notice off the beaten path. That's what happened. They hit the big guys up and down 6th Avenue, so to speak, but they didn't get to the little ones on, the 30-unit apartment
That's
buildings.
not
So-
adequate, because they're the ones who are really getting hurt.
So let's get to
Right.
any and all
Everyone.
rental property, and if it takes another couple of weeks, then fine, but you follow where we're coming from. Make one and all know, we're not trying to slip anything past anybody. We're trying to protect the residents of the city.
Can I just ask the attorney one
We're
question?
going to be
No, we're going,
Okay.
we're
We're
going
gonna
to
mail it
table
to
it,
them.
so there's no more
Yeah.
discussion on it.
We're going to
Go our
mail it to
office.
them.
Let's
and
go to our
we'll-
office and do everything. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to send them an
So
official
you're gonna
certified
table it?
letter.
I had a discussion with the attorney
So
this
we're
week,
going to table this.
so I need to
We
be
are
back there in
going
2
to
weeks.
table this. You have a hearing problem, right?
I
We
don't
just
have
said
a-
we're going to table it, so we're not discussing it anymore. So you guys have a chance
There's
to
no
sit
need
with
to
the
be
city attorney.
insulting, ma'am.
Sir, I've been telling you over and over, we're going to table this. We're going to bring it back in a couple of weeks when proper notification, when you folks have a chance to sit down with the city attorney. So please,
So I
you
should
just
make a
told
point
the
with
first
city
gentleman was
attorney.
going to speak. You insist to keep on the mic. Please have a seat. Thank you. Roll call. We're going to table this. And Mr. Manager, make sure that everybody without exception is notified about this. And we don't have to bring it next council meeting. We're going to bring it after the city attorney sits with them and ensure that they understand what's in it. Because I understand that there are some misinterpretation of what was there, because it was clear to us when we had the town hall meeting on this. So I want to make sure not only that they are notified, if they have any complaints, bring it to the city attorney. She's the city attorney. She will decide whether or not she needs to amend, remove, or whatever. But before you bring it back in the agenda, make sure that every single step has been taken.
We will send out a certified letter with the workshop date, and we'll send out on that same letter the
Thank you.
date that it would be on the agenda.
Madam Mayor, would you like to have a workshop so that their individual
With them.
concerns can
Send them a
be
letter.
raised? Is that what you're asking?
Send them an invitation letter. You do workshop with all of them, because you won't be able to do a one-to-one with everybody. It does not make any sense.
I'd like to see a workshop again.
A
with
workshop
notice to
with all
land-
the landlords. If needs be, we'll bring the tenants as well that have concerns. Okay. Because the tenants have their words to say. They're the one living this mess. So until then, Madam Attorney, we don't want to see this on the agenda.
Okay. So you would like to have a workshop with
Landlord, city attorney workshop.
With notice to landlords of both.
Okay. Return receipt. Return receipt. Or if we send them by email, you know that email, when they open it, you have a confirmation that that person have opened the email, so nobody says they did not know. All right? Thank you. So the motion was made by Mr. Galvin and seconded by Madame Steril. Roll call.
Councilwoman Steril, yes. Mayor Thundro?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bieneme?
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys?
Yes.
Mayor, Councilman Galvin?
Yes.
Item passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Tab D.
D.
Propose.
This is the related ordinance?
I don't know.
This is the ordinance.
Right. And I didn't know why we were setting fees before this passed on second
The
reading.
first item is the fees resolution, and the second item is the ordinance relating to the actual ordinance. So I would imagine that both items will be tabled.
Move to table or
Yes.
continue tab D.
No.
Okay. Motion was made by Councilman Galvin, seconded by Councilwoman Steril to table this item. Vice Mayor Bieneme?
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys?
Yes.
Councilwoman Steril?
Yes.
Councilman Galvin?
Yes.
Mayor Thundro?
Yes.
Item passes 5-0. Tab E. Proposed ordinance of the Mayor and City Council of the City of North Miami, Florida, amending Chapter 10 of the Code of Ordinances entitled Junk, Wrecked, Stolen, Abandoned Property to prohibit accumulation and storage of abandoned property and providing for the removal of abandoned property by the city, providing for repeal, conflicts, severability, codification, and an effective date.
Madam Attorney.
Yes.
Do we open public hearing in this
Yes,
as well?
we do.
Okay, public hearing is open, but I would like to hear from you, Madam Attorney, on this one. Public hearing is now closed. Go ahead.
So, as you recall, we are going chapter by chapter to clean up and update our code. This next chapter, we kind of clumped the items that are related to public space and maintenance and building and so forth. So we had chapter 5, which we are tabling, and this next chapter deals with junk, abandoned property in the city. And there are no real substantive major changes, as you can see. So it's primarily cleaning up language and removing some items that are no longer functional. And so, we will continue to be bringing to you updated chapters to the ordinance as we progress.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
This ordinance have existed for such a long time, isn't it?
Yes.
And why, now that we are doing some cleanup in all the ordinance, does that mean that this time they're going to apply the ordinance? Because doing all this work and just letting them go and nobody work on it. For example, a guy can open a garage in front of his house. Next thing you know, it becomes a mechanic store on a residential area. And one of the things I saw you put in the ordinance, they can do oil change, which is a definitely no. Because once they get that oil out of the car, they have no proper way to dispose of it. And what's happening to our water? Now, I just want to make sure that these ordinance, once we do the cleanup, somebody is going to follow up and make sure that we follow the law. We're talking about code enforcement, Mr. Manager, that's a code enforcement thing? Okay, that code enforcement start taking seriously all those ordinances and apply them. Because otherwise it's like writing for nothing, working and vote on things for nothing if they're not going to be applicable.
Correct, and this is going to require a workshop. The city attorney and I had this discussion to bring them into a workshop. There are a series of ordinances that we need to do a workshop with them on.
Okay. And how much of a garage sale a resident is entitled to do a year?
2.
Garage sales, yeah, I believe it's about
It's 2 with a $10 permit each.
2? Right. So those who do garage sale every weekend, what do we do?
Well, code.
I would like to see more code enforcement people on the streets during the weekend. Most of the violations occur during the weekend when they know there's nobody watching. Seen this roof? Did I tell you? You were not there. Were you there? When we worked there, these people were fixing their roof without a permit because it was a Saturday. Nobody was paying attention. And it happens over in the garage sale that are going on. Every week you see a garage sale at the same location. Something has to be done, and I'm sure they don't have permit. Anybody check those garage sales to ensure that they have a permit?
Can we transfer our rights? Like the mayor can give me hers if she's not using her rights to have.
No.
So we can have 4? It's non-transferable. No, seriously, on a more serious note, I just want to make sure that when we do those things, we follow the laws as well. We apply them. I mean, it's not that we just want to have a beautiful city, a city that is clean, so that our property values goes up throughout the city. And having a dealership in front of your house, having a mechanic shop out in front of your house, doing those type of things are not helping this city to look good. And it's not going to help our property value either.
Not healthy.
It's not healthy. So I just want to make sure that we do those. Thank you, guys. So no garage, Madam Attorney. I saw in that ordinance you put they can change their brake, they can change their oil. No, they go to the garage for that. We don't have no Jiffy Lube here, right?
Correct. Just for everyone's edification, what the mayor is referring to is, if you go to page 6, which is section 10(9) let's see. So the items that are struck through is what you had previously with respect to how an owner can make minor or major repairs on their property. And really, the city, when we met with the code enforcement and minimum housing inspectors, we never applied it in this way. So we decided to create language that makes more sense for how it's actually being used. So what the mayor's referring to is sub 4, kind of in the first part of page 7, which says the work shall be limited to minor repairs only. The term minor repair includes any work which is completed within 24 hours, including but not limited to change of tires, replacement of batteries, change of oil, and replacement of brakes. Any other work, including work wherein the vehicle engine or transmission is removed or lifted from the vehicle for repair or replacement, where the vehicle is placed on blocks with the tires removed or involves the use of heavy equipment, is prohibited. So with respect to minor repair, and this is a decision that the council will have to make in terms of the policy, change of tires, replacement of batteries, change of oil, and replacement of brakes was already in the code. So if it be your direction for that to be limited to change of tires or whatever it may be.
A jump from the battery, let's say the battery die in front of your house, somebody can come and give you a jump. But the oil changing, it's a no-no, because once they do that, the oil, they just throw it on the soil and no.
Question.
Why would you change your brake in front of your house anyway, if you're not a mechanic? Nobody knows besides Councilwoman Steriel how to change brakes.
That's right, I know how.
So you have to call a mechanic to come to your house and change those brakes, and this is when you can take it to a garage.
I have a question. There is, in the law, Madam City Attorney, is there a difference between using whatever that you're doing, the tires change, the brakes, or the oil on the swell, or if that person has, because some people have how would I say it, garage or in-house garage or has like fenced
in violation with the county code.
What is it?
By changing the oil on the private property without having a tank with permit, garage permit to change the oil. I understand about the brakes, about the tires, but
not
for the
oil
is different.
Okay, so maybe we should follow.
What if we include language that if they're going to do anything with the brake or any type of mechanical, that they use proper receptacles to dispose of any oils or liquids?
No, the oil is out of order. It's not regulated by the city to change the oil.
Okay, I didn't.
Cannot change the oil.
I didn't know
at
that,
all.
so,
I don't know
okay.
about other item.
Do you think that's taking away people's rights not to be able to
I'm
change the
talking
oil
about
in their
the
car?
oil.
front of their house?
Where they're gonna put
Where would they put the oil?
debris.
I'm
The
saying
dirty
if
oil.
They have receptacles.
No,
for it.
what,
Oh, yeah?
what they're gonna do with it?
How you
after
gonna make
that?
sure that they have receptacle for it?
Well, if it's on the
Even
driveway,
a
then
mechanic
they're in violation.
garage, you need a special license for the oil.
But I just.
Yeah. It's not,
It's
imagine you throw it on the grass, and what happened to our water? And
The councilman just mentioned it's against
It's a different,
even the county has a
different
law
permit
against
for that, for the oil.
Okay. Okay, so I think
storage and-
no oil change.
Okay.
No brake change. Tires and job from batteries.
For the brakes, it's a safety issue. If they have an emergency, they need to change it for safety.
AAA.
I think they should be able to do so. As far as brakes or tires, I understand that, but no oil change.
Yeah, I
Because
support that,
tires
no.
is safety, and brakes
And
is
brakes
safety.
don't die from one day to another. They start to worn out, making noise. They start being very low before they go. I mean, you just wake up. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what it was. In most cars, there's a light that comes up when your brakes are low. And I mean, there are so many indications that you need to change your brakes that it cannot be an emergency brake out.
Okay,
You don't
so-
wake up in the morning and find no brakes unless somebody come and sabotage your car.
Okay, my question, why, I understand the oil change, which I agree, is a safety issue. What about the brakes? Why is it that we don't want them to change the brake if they can?
You
The
have
pad
to
or
you have to
whatever.
lift you have to lift the car. You have to
You have to do the same thing for the
With the pad.
for the
with the no, you don't just put brakes, just putting that brake and I'm removing this. There are pads, there are shoulders, there are a bunch of things.
Okay, so if they can do it, so why are we concerning if?
Well, they can go to a garage and have it
no,
done.
but here's my concern.
My concern is this. I can have my house and have everybody who have a brake problem come cheaply and change it there. It's my right as a resident, since I can change brake
This
and
says-
start opening a business.
This says you have to own the vehicle. This
Oh,
ordinance.
who's going to ask?
Code
The
enforcement.
code enforcement. The
Ah.
same person, if they see them changing the brake, should ask.
You know, I think there are enough garage in North Miami that we can take our cars to and make sure that we have a good mechanic work done with guarantee.
There are men that have habits of taking care of their cars and blah blah blah. Seriously, I know, right? But anyway, do we want to take a vote, because it seems like all of us agree on the oil issues, but not on the brake. So what do you want to do, Madam Mayor?
I think we should
Where's Alim?
prohibit
Maybe
any
ask him
types.
a couple questions about brakes and tires, about our
Oh,
shops,
you guys
say
serious.
safety.
Mr.
issue.
Gani, are you a
Do
mechanician?
you know anything about?
I'll move we continue this
that-
item.
The
for
only
2
thing,
weeks.
the only thing that Mr. Ghani could attest to is that oil may be a
Where's
problem
in
with
charge
Durham.
of the mechanic or
Yeah, the
facility, something, right?
oil may be a problem with
Yeah,
Durham.
But
we
not
know the
changing
oil,
brakes.
but
Yeah. Actually, the oil is the one I actually wanted to address. You do have recycling facilities,
Yeah.
and you do have auto zones and these other places that will allow you up to a 1 gallon of recyclable oil that you could take. So there are facilities, even Miami-Dade County will allow you to take up to 1 gallon of these used
Yeah.
oil to
Yeah,
these
but they're gonna put
facilities
it
that
in
you
the
can
garbage
recycle.
can.
but if you wanna change your oil, it's
I'll
at
go with you.
least
Don't put it
4
in
or
the
5
garbage can. I'll
gallons.
go with you with the oil and brake. I'm good.
Depending on the vehicle, yeah. Most small
It's
vehicles.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 4 quarts, 1 gallon, yeah. The other aspect, which is the brakes, actually brakes is one of the areas that you have very high, a lot of heavy metals. And I do agree with, getting a professional advice on changing brakes. So,
Heavy metals.
Since I'm not sure
Very
about
hazardous
the
for your-
heavy
for your
metals,
health.
do you guys want to table it and let me research on it?
That's fine.
I-
You going
I-
to mechanic school?
I only had one minor addition, and maybe we could vote on it unless there's more things, which I've already discussed with the attorney, is, I think, on storage of junk vehicles visible from the public right-of-ways. I just wanted to add visible from any waterways in the city. That was in 1019.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people living across the canal have to watch all this junk, and there's always been the provision, well, it's not on the street. So I just want to add the word waterways. We spoke about it.
Mm-hmm. If it's an antique car, they need to be properly covered. You know, if it's something that you want to keep, it has to be either in a garage or properly covered. It does not make sense for us to have a bunch of cars standing there as.
Yes, that's been added. The antique cars is in there.
Thank you. So, roll call. We don't need to
Well, we only got one motion to table this item, and that was made by Councilman Galvin. I
I
don't have a
remove
second.
my facetious motion to table. I was just trying to push the item downhill a little bit.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve with amendments and.
With the amendments.
Move approval with the amendments.
Second.
Well, yeah, so I don't know that we're really clear on the amendments.
Take out the oil.
No oils. No
Despite
brakes.
Mr. Ghani's
I disagree.
expert opinion. No oil, okay. Change of tires. Change of tires.
Safety.
Okay.
Change of tires.
That's
Yes?
safety.
Okay, great. Replacement of batteries.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And replacement of brakes.
No. No.
No breaks.
No brakes.
All right, got it. Thank you.
Okay, so.
And 1019, you're going to add.
Yes, waterways,
Waterways.
yes.
Thank you.
You
Can I-
would know
can I-
where to start. I don't even know where the brakes are in the car.
Yeah, so no oil, no
You don't
brakes.
even know where
and-
brakes are in the car.
Okay. So the motion was made by Councilman Galvin, seconded by Mayor Thundro. And the motion to approve this particular item with the following amendments: to remove oil change, no oil changes, no brakes, and to include waterways. We have a motion and a second. And roll call, Mayor?
Mm-hmm.
Mayor Thundro,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bienemé,
Yes.
Councilman Galvin,
Yes.
Councilwoman Steril,
No.
Councilwoman Keys.
Yes.
Item passes 4-1.
F. Tab F.
Tab F was already read, Mayor, and it
Oh,
was already
okay.
voted on. Tab G is a request from Families Against Crime Together, FACT, to obtain monetary support of $5,000 for its festival on April 26, 2014, to assist with the promotion and staging of the event.
Chief Burgess.
Is it?
Gavin, Rondo. Ordinance passed.
Good evening, Madam Mayor.
Good evening. I
Council.
understand this is something we do every year?
Yes, I think actually this is something that started back with Gwen Boyd when she was the chief here with the Families Against Crime Together Festival. This is the one time really where we bring out the community, we bring out the children, we bring out the educational awareness process. As I was speaking with the assistant city manager, Dr. Claude, about 400 to 500 children coming through there getting educational awareness with drugs, gangs awareness, as well as with the 911 system. And then the majority of the partners that we provide on that day, we give a lot back to the community as well. So this is our one-time-a-year event that's pretty much not, it's all about giving and educating the public as well as interaction with the kids and youth in the programs.
And this is something the police department is having?
Yes.
And we don't have any money from PAL to do so? Or is it also?
Actually, it's money that through LETF, it's money as well as we're asking from other communities. Went to Johnson & Wells. We have asked money as well from the council as well. We have asked monies as well from the Children's Trust Fund. And those monies has reduced, including 4 or 5 of the tow companies. We have requested monies. It's the same 8 or 10, actually the same 5 or 6. We doubled it up to about 8 or 10 of the so-called local businesses to help donate. The average expenditures are around $12,000 a year. And like I said, the majority of these is as well as a contest that is provided with all different age groups. And we give them at least, we like to give them a lot more than what we've been giving them, $25, $50 certificates. But the winners of each one of these age groups, we try to give them 100 or 200 or 300 or laptops and stuff like that. So it's pretty much all about giving back.
Okay. So we don't give laptop anymore, we give tablets.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should have known with my 3 kids, yes.
We don't do, we
You're right,
don't do
Madam Mayor.
laptops.
Absolutely correct.
Very good. Any question for?
I do. Isn't this already in our budget? Hasn't this already been figured into our budget, Mr. Manager?
Mr. Soray?
No, it's
Is it
not.
good? It's not in our budget.
No?
No, it's
What
not.
fund? The LATF fund?
We
Is that
might
what
in the
you're
future
from?
move to do that
Mhm.
then, since
Automatically.
this is now
Yeah.
such an annual thing.
Yeah, I move to approve it.
Second.
I'm sorry, what was it?
Speak to the mic so we can hear the
No,
answer you're giving.
my question was, what is it from, what fund that we gonna take that money from?
There's several funding sources, LETF, the city, Children's Trust, and other
So-
entities that come and provide funds.
No, my question was the $5,000 that just
For PAL?
requested for PAL.
For this
Where we,
$5,000
the
donation.
$5,000 donation,
General
where we're
fund.
gonna, okay.
Yeah, general fund.
You've received some donations from some vendors, I understand, that
Yeah.
would cover stuff like this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Community events.
Good.
Yeah,
And
just
I
wanted
think
to-
you should take note, Mr. Soray, that next budget hearing, to ensure this is part of the budget, so we don't have to come every year and ask. It's something that is ongoing. It's a positive thing for the community. There's no reason to come here and ask. All right, thank you. Mr., is there a motion?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council.
Second.
Yes, Mayor, you had a motion and a second. Councilwoman Keys made the motion. Councilmember Galvin seconded.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman Galvin?
Yes.
Mayor Thundwell?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bieneme?
Yes.
Councilwoman Keys?
Yes.
Councilwoman Steril?
Yes.
Item passes 5-0.
Thank you. Tab